funds, because think how long it can take law enforcement to get to them.
So say that these funds can be used to purchase firearms and to train teachers or administrators how to use them. It's not about discipline. This is not money that would be going towards disciplining students. It's going to teachers who want to protect students from harm and from mass shooters who may come into their schools to do them harm. I know there's a ton of hysteria about this. I'm going to reiterate what Jesse said. This is already being done in school districts across the country. In Texas, there are 110 school districts that allow teachers and administrators to carry guns. According to the Crime Research Prevention Center, more than a dozen states across the country have some kind of allowance to allow teachers to carry firearms to protect their students. And for someone to say that this is about giving teachers guns so they can shoot their students in terms of a disciplinary process, it really says a lot about what they think about teachers in this country.
It's extremely
the teachers
reckless.
that I've talked to who work in classrooms and who think that this is actually a good idea, they would rather defend themselves and have a chance at defending their students as well, because those students are their responsibility during the day with a firearm, than to stand in front of the door with their body and hope that the shooter comes in and leaves.
Well, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on.
Greg,
Can I interrupt just to respond to Katie?
I want to ask Greg. Greg, okay. the bottom line on this, though, is that the majority of this $1 billion is going to all these different things that can help schools around the country. It's several rural schools have asked about it to help them when law enforcement isn't close.
It's a fact that in all of these shootings, the amount of damage that is done by a shooter is dictated by the amount of time it takes to get a second gun there. You shorten that time, you have fewer victims. But I just wanted to address the MSNBC thing, because I want to show you how actually really absurd this is, and we kind of missed the big point here. Wanting to protect black and brown students from mass shooters who are almost all the time white is being construed as racist. Remember, most mass shooters are white men. Okay. So the idea that this is somehow racist, you're trying to protect black and brown students from white shooters, they are now counting as racist. This is the same argument that that leftists apply to communities. They will say, if you have a lot of police officers, you're unfairly targeting minorities in a community. So what they did is they shrunk that down to the classroom situation, when in fact you can reverse it. You said that the armed security are there to protect the black and brown students the way the police officers, who are often black and brown, like the teachers are black and brown, will be there to protect the community members who are minorities. So that's BS.
Let me just say, I'm standing up for white men right now. I can't believe what Greg just said about who. But let me just quickly add, I wanted to respond to Katie. Katie, maybe you should notice that 82% of teachers and staff in this country have said they don't want to carry guns. They don't want to carry guns. 73% of teachers said absolutely not. And in fact, 58% say that having guns like that in the classroom will make them less safe. This is all about the gun lobby and about gun makers trying to sell guns.
The majority of teachers are leftists who hate the Second Amendment. Anyway, first of all, the second thing is nobody is forcing anybody to carry a gun. And quite frankly, not everybody is qualified to carry a gun. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But you should not take away the right to protect yourself and your students from the teachers who are willing to take on the responsibility to do it for themselves and the children who are in their care every single day. Again, I will reiterate, they do not want to stand in front of a door or a cabinet with their body. They would rather defend themselves against an active shooter with a gun.
I think we can find ways to defend our kids without that.
With what?
Stay right there. The Fastest 7 is next.
Welcome back. It's time for The Fastest 7. First up, it's a robot invasion of cuteness, we think. Japanese tech giant Sony announcing a new and improved version of its popular Aibo robot dog, and it will be coming to the United States in September with a price tag of nearly $3,000. The autonomous pooch can learn custom tricks and respond to a number of classic real dog commands like sit and stay, Jesse. Real dogs sometimes cost $3,000.
Yeah,
This dog doesn't have the vet bills.
I mean, Juan thinks $3,000's affordable, so I think that's right in his price range. It's not necessarily loyal. I don't know how you program loyalty, so I'd have a problem with that. But I like that you don't have to walk it to go to the bathroom. I like that it doesn't shed, and I like that it doesn't smell bad. So there's definitely an upside here.
Greg, you don't have pets, but would you consider getting one of these?
Yes. Well, you missed. There's no robot poop yet. Although that would be interesting. to see what-
Virtual robot poop.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't smell anyway. Put robot in front of anything, and it gets better. Robot humans, robot cars, robot insects. Robots are better humans. We just got to accept the fact that we are the next dinosaurs, and robots are the next humans. Evolution, except we are creating our replacements. That's what's different.
Juan.
Why did you ask him this question?
No, it's true. It's
What is
inevitable.
going on with you?
It's going to happen. Just
Wait a
get
minute.
used to it.
Let me ask you, Greg.
Yes.
Would you marry a robot or would you marry your wife?
I would marry my wife, but we won't have that choice in 100 years.
You have to marry the robot.
Yes. Well, no, there wouldn't be marriage.
made a
There wouldn't be
movie
marriage
about
with
that
robots.
at some point.
It'd be polygamous.
Okay.
I don't know how
Pam,
you
you
do
have a
it.
dog.
I do.
real
And
dog.
right now, shelter dogs are free. And you can get many that are hypoallergenic. They don't shed. You do have to walk them.
Yeah.
You do have to walk them. Maybe that's what we'll all get you for Christmas.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not spending that much money.
Free? No, a free dog. No, a shelter dog. But I'd be
Oh,
scared.
yeah.
Hopefully your wife will
Just
take
what
care
Greg
of it.
We used
needs.
to call them pound dogs.
Okay. These are not pound dogs. These are very expensive, fancy dogs.
Yes.
But up next story. Whoever said flying saucers and politics don't mix? A congressional candidate in Florida claims she was abducted by aliens when she was 7, but Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera says she doesn't want to be defined by her extraterrestrial experience, even though she's reportedly considered a long shot in the House race in her district. The Miami Herald is endorsing her for the GOP nomination. Pam, Florida woman.
You know,
Are there aliens in your state? I mean, really?
I haven't
Did
seen
you,
them
like,
yet,
figure that
but
out?
I have not endorsed her. But she would be in charge. She would want to be in charge of the Space Force program, I think, that the president's proposing.
go.
So we'd have another Republican supporting that. However, I think she's been there herself in space. So.
That'd bring more to
little
the Florida
troubling.
economy if she was in charge of the Space
A
Force.
little
Jesse.
troubling.
I think she was just abducted by James Carville, and she confused him for an alien, and that's how
Right.
that got started.
Juan, who hasn't been abducted by aliens?
Really?
I mean, we
if
all
she's
have.
on, if she's
Can the
on-
aliens, can you abduct Juan,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
All these
Wait a
people don't
second.
abduct her.
Wait
Get
a
Juan out of
second.
here.
She's a Republican. She's a Republican. But here's the thing. She says she's still in touch with aliens through some kind of extraterrestrial.
She talks to them.
She does.
That's what she says.
Well, this is very interesting. And then, of course, the Miami Herald endorsed her. Right? And she, I don't get this. I don't
It's
get
Florida.
it. But I just think it's amazing. You shouldn't hold that against anybody, right?
Yeah, are we
It's the
being
red
too
wave right there,
judgmental?
Juan.
That's the red wave.
One, I mean, you should like. She's a Republican who's pro-alien, so you should be happy.
Tell Pam.
But I want to say, how are her claims any more absurd than anything from Cuomo or Bernie Sanders? I'll take an alien abduction over socialism is good for the economy or America was never great. So she might be pretty good.
Just lower my taxes.
Yes, exactly. I don't care if you were abducted.
The aliens
Cut
are
my
for less
taxes.
government, so are we.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, a new study says people admire others who are selfless and considerate, but don't want them as friends or romantic partners. So, Jesse, I think this is about you not wanting to be held accountable by your nice, considerate friends because they try to make you a better person.
I think I am the nice friend.
You think
I
so?
do. I
Do
think
you not
I'm the
have any
do-gooder.
friends?
Yeah, I think I'm the do-gooder. No one wants to hang out with me because I'm
Oh,
just
that's
too
so sad.
goody-goody.
Yeah, you know what I call Jesse when we're gossiping about him? The Mother Teresa of Fox.
We're gossiping about him.
Yeah.
Kisses babies.
Because he's just, he's generous.
It's
he's
true.
open-spirited.
True.
The
Why are
problem-
you so sarcastic?
But the problem is that when Jesse is behaving in this way, I have to think, is he going to be like Jimmy Carter and go do Habitat for Humanity, or is he going to look out for
I have
me,
done
his
that.
friend?
I have done
You know?
that. I hammered some nails
Yeah,
and some
well, you should be looking
stucco.
out for me. That's why people don't want them as friends and romantic partners, because they're busy helping the world instead of helping me.
Juan, I do not want to be your
Look,
romantic
Katie,
partner.
Thank you,
Hold
Jesse.
on. The study, I think from the Daily Mail, it's all how you word a study, just like a poll.
Okay.
The study says that would you want someone who would be out doing Habitat for Humanity or spending time with their mother to be your spouse? Come on.
Which one's
your
more
mother?
considerate?
They want a
Right.
bad
you
boy,
want somebody who's
right?
going to
Like
care about
Gutfeld.
you, who loves their family. You want somebody who loves their
They want a
family.
guy with a
loves
leather
their
jacket and a
family.
cigarette and kind of an angry Gutfeld
And a robot
on the
dog.
wrong side of the tracks.
No, but it is about skewed priorities. Real do-gooders, often you don't hear about it, right? They don't talk about it. They do stuff behind the scenes.
Dana likes to toot her own horn about all that.
She's not here.
You give her a
All right.
She's definitely watching. You know that was a joke. We love
Jesse.
you.
No, okay, but
Do-gooder Dana.
the stereotypical version of the do-gooder, the kind of thing that we see on TV, is the person, the activist, the person that's out there. And the thing is, they do put, that type of person does put the snail darter before their family. They will they'll worry about climate change, but they won't change the diaper. Everybody has had this roommate in college that is all about global this, global that, but they never pay their rent.
No, they can't take care of themselves.
Yes.
That's true. All right,
Yeah.
well, stick around because of
Apologies to
next segment.
Dana.
Sorry, Dana.
That bad.